glass of wine. Wisdom.
Whiskey, wine, and wisdom.
And James.
Okay, we're just recording. We're just doing it now. It's happened.
Oh,
Intro's played, yep.
You've pressed record, I didn't
Press
even
record,
realise.
yeah. Put your dick away and let's get on with it.
That wasn't part of the deal.
Oh, well, what can you do? What can you do? You can't do everything. Maybe you can't do anything. This week, I'm on Cryptids, you are on...
I am on bizarre medical treatments.
Good Lord. Horrendous. Obviously you know that because you can see the header, but that is very much after the fact. We go into this blind. We know very little. We don't know what's going on. It is Sunday, what's the date? 18th?
It is the 18th.
18th of August. It's a warm, a balmy Sunday evening. It's night time, it's dark. We're gonna recite some facts.
Yes.
And we're gonna learn a little. And we just, very importantly, just tried the what is it? It's the Tia Maria coffee Arabic.
Yeah. Something like that.
Arabica and vanilla Tia Maria, and it's
Jesus.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
So we just had that on the rocks, and I'm chasing that with a cheeky lager, and he's on a Desperado.
Yeah, the Desperado.
I can't clink it because I've got a can, but there you go. That's the closest we can do.
Dunk.
Sound of class.
It's like the Tin Man got a stiff in.
I am happy to see you. Good Lord. Well, we've gone straight into crass territory there, James.
Oh, I'm going to turn my volume down.
You should. Mute that shit. Come on, professionalism.
Oh.
And again, dick away, please.
It's not out. It's not. I've not had a surgery for special reduction. I'm not. There's anything like this. This is.
James is still recovering from a recent surgery.
Oh no.
No, look, he had. Look. We all know, and it's one of these. He's embarrassed by it. He shouldn't be. He should be proud of it, right?
I had a bad leg.
He had a monster hog, and he just was like, I can't do anything with this. His poor wife just couldn't make it work, and she's like, look, this is just too much, James.
Lies.
And he's had it reduced ever so slightly. I mean, he's still got an impressive fella, but it's manageable now. You know, he can do things with it. You know, he isn't gonna like hang it over his shoulders. He's going for a run. You know, yeah. So is that right?
No, lies and slanders. Lies and slanders.
She's like, no, it's tiny. Leave it.
It's normal. It's average. Normally, I don't want to talk about my penitrude.
Penitrude, you little gentleman.
Distinguished gentleman.
my lower friend.
I like that one. That's how we refer to my member from now on. My lower friend.
My member from down under. Oh dear.
But I'm a member from my under.
Down a new Hyundai.
Well, that's a lovely turn. Yeah.
So anyway, Cryptids and
bizarre medical treatments.
Bizarre medical treatments. I'm going to do 1 2 Spaff, and we're going to do it. What's that? Because you won last week.
Yeah, and this week.
Oh, let's see.
Because we've already recorded it, but these people don't know. But so it's just so we know what's going to happen now. I'm going to win it because this.
Okay, so you're saying you've won it already?
Yeah, we remember that recording that we done.
So yeah, let's see how it goes. Yeah.
If I sound confident, it's going to work out. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready?
Go.
1 2 bam. Oh, scissors. 1 2 paper. Yeah, I'll let you have that one.
Thank you.
Because remember we recorded it earlier.
Yeah.
I'll let you win.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Fucking hell.
Just stick to your guns, mate.
Yeah.
You can't back down.
No.
You can't go to Paper Town.
Paper town.
Okay, I've got cryptids. I've got 10 cryptids, and these are, just to clarify, a cryptid. Cryptozoology is the study of creatures that may exist, but there is little or insufficient evidence to confirm their existence. Think of Bigfoot, think of Loch Ness Monster. We've covered some of them in the past, so I've tried to not cover those ones. But yeah, they're basically shit that may exist but might not. Some of them are, as you read them out, you go bullshit, and they're like obviously bullshit. And sometimes they're like maybe. So, but one string I just found under the sofa. Interesting. Side quest. I'm going to start with the one that's hardest to pronounce. Mukele Mubembe.
Okay.
The Mukele Mubembe is a cryptid believed to inhabit the remote swamps and rivers of the Congo River Basin in Central Africa. Often described as resembling a sauropod dinosaur with a long neck, massive body and tail, Mukele Mubembe has fascinated explorers and cryptozoologists for over a century. The name means one who stops the flow of rivers in the Lingala language, as the locals believe the creature is so large it blocks waterways when it swims. Despite numerous expeditions into the dense Congo jungles, including those led by Western explorers in the early 1900s, concrete evidence of Mukele Mbembe's existence remains elusive. Nevertheless, the stories persist, and some speculate the creature could be a living dinosaur, while others think it may be a large species of crocodile or undiscovered animal. Now, the thing, before you say we would have found it if it was that big, right? The thing is, there's huge swathes, especially in African, like the really dense jungled areas, and especially South America. There's some areas there which are just like you cannot get to. You just can't. You can fly over them, you can take photos, aerial photos and stuff, but you can't. You could probably drop some bugger off a helicopter, but like that's not any way to search a dense, because you can only see above all the tree line, and it's like the trees. It's like we're talking like 50, 60 foot up, and then all the stuff that's under there you wouldn't know. And same with the waterways, you wouldn't know. So I'm not saying there's a giant dinosaur that's blocking all the waterways and is existing. And also, if there's one, there's more, and if there's more, then you'd seen them. So it's probably bollocks. But there's some of the creatures we're covering. They might be out there. It's one of those things I've always sort of like, and my knee jerk of like, nah. When you hear about like Bigfoot and that sort of shit, but like, it's not insane. They found creatures. I mean, they found that fish a couple of years ago that's like they reckon it had been dead for like 65 million years, and they just caught one in Japan. They're like, oh, there it is, and it's just like this dinosaur fish. Yeah, they're like, oh, there it is, and it's not changed. It's the same. You're like, what the? And like there's certain creatures where you're like the megalodon, which is. I'm not sure if I covered it or not. I don't talk about that anymore, but I'm not sure if it's one of my fish. Dog's being a spacker. Stop getting all licky, mate. He does this when he gets all kind of cuddly and silly of an evening.
Because I'm delicious.
It must be it. Now, what's my first one? Mukele Mbembe.
Good.
Moving on. What you got? Give me unnecessary surgery, please.
Mouse.
Mr. Mouse.
Mr. Mouse. So, ancient Egyptians put a dead mouse in their mouth with the hope of it that doing so would ease toothache pain. In some cases, mashed mouse was blended with other ingredients, resulting in a combination that was applied to the painful spots. So it's like rodent Bonjela.
Mice have always had a raw deal, haven't they? With wasn't it like mouse brains was a toothpaste thing? We covered that in one of our weeks. I'm sure it was.
So like, there's some fucked up
so
about.
Why is it with mice? They're like, oh, buggers to catch anyway. I need to catch enough to make some toothpaste. You're like, what? Why would you think of mouse brains? And then you think, chew on a dead mouse. That'll. My teeth really hurt. Chew on a dead mouse. That'll sort it out.
Yeah, so it's a standard. I mean, they're bloody Egyptians. They do weird stuff.
They do weird stuff.
But it's not just Egyptians.
Oh.
No, so Egyptians weren't the only ones big on mouse cures. No. In Elizabethan England, in Elizabethan England, one remedy for warts was to cut a mouse in half and apply it to the offending spot. The Elizabethans also ate mice, fried or baked in pies. Standard. Mice were also used to treat whooping cough, measles, smallpox, and bedwetting. So what do you do? I'll keep wetting the bed. All right, shove a mouse at my dick hole or something. I don't know. that's a plug.
I'm not sure. I suppose you got the tail to pull it out. It's like sort of like a little.
It's a man pod.
God damn it! You got there first.
But yeah. So rather than that, mate, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Mate, mouse tampons might be the quote of the day. Bloody hell!
Name of the episode.
Yeah. Mouse tampons.
Oh, Stanley looks so confused. What be going on?
He doesn't understand human language. Doesn't know what's going on.
Right, give me another ridiculous name for a mad monster.
A hool.
Bless you.
A hool. The ahool is a giant bat-like cryptid.
I've heard. Yeah.
In Java, Indonesia, it's been reported. Named after its distinctive call, ahool. This creature is said to have a wingspan of up to 10 feet, with a face resembling that of a monkey or bat, large claws and dark fur. Descriptions of the Ahul first surfaced in the 1920s when naturalist Dr. Ernest Bartels reportedly encountered the creature, as well as lots of locals and stuff as well. So, while some believe the Ahul may be a species of giant bat or even a surviving pterosaur, others think it might be a misidentified bird like a Javanese eagle or owl, which are, and I'm reading bastard huge. The remote and dense jungles of Java have fueled speculation such a creature could remain hidden from scientific discovery, adding to the mystique of the Ahul. Now, the Ahul is way more, obviously, like the last one was sounded like, yeah, bollocks, right?
Yeah.
But that totally could exist, right? It's a nocturnal animal. You don't see it in the daytime, and it's in an area where there's no bugger, it's like there's no bugger there. So there's no humans around, and when they do go there, it's not like an easily explorable area because it's like an incredibly dense jungle for thousands of miles. You just can't find or see anything. So that, maybe.
Monkey face bird.
Monkey face bird. Well, the thing is, I think if you look at a bat's face,
Yeah.
they look a bit monkeyish.
They don't look like they've got a beak. They don't look like actual birds.
Well, they're not. They're mammals, aren't they?
No.
So, but yeah, I could see that. Scale it up. It's a big old bat. 10 foot. It's bloody huge. And I mean, that's an exaggeration. That sounds like typical exaggeration times. But I could see an Ahul.
That's like when I see a spider. It was that big.
Yeah, size of your dick.
Which is why I had to get reduced because spiders. No, there's nothing linked to it. It's all sort of like...
You won't get as many big spiders in the house anymore.
No.
They'll just pick up on the natural presence of a more moderate member.
Yeah.
3Ms.
Remember.
Anyway, the Ahul. Alright, medicate me. Go on, tell me.
Sheep's livers. Wait, you need to take a drink as I said that.
Delicious. Slivers.
Dear. With no blood tests or x-rays, how did ancient healers diagnose illness? So, in Mesopot... Oh no, I had to spell it phonetically because there's these big words.
Mesopotamian.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
The one that you just said like off the tip of your tongue.
Mesopotamian. Is it Mesopotamian or Mesopotamian?
Mesopotamian.
Metanium.
Yeah.
Like a metal.
Is it? No. In Mesopotamia.
Oh, Amia, yeah.
It's a modern day Iraq. I was looking up the translator. So in modern day Iraq, basically, practitioners made judgments not by inspecting the patients, but by examining the livers of a sacrificed sheep. At the time, the liver was thought to be a source of human blood, and hence the source of life itself. So basically saying, Dave's come in, or feeling not great, but they're not going to diagnose, they're going to do like a sacrificial ritual on a sheep, study the liver and go, well I can see from this liver, you've got like a blood infection, you've got something going on, or you, because they didn't have like the x-rays and stuff like that.
I mean, also, obviously like, I'm going to cut this thing open over here to see how you are over there.
Yeah.
Is bug nut stupid anyway. But also, you're a fucking... you're... This is a long time ago, I hope it's a long time ago.
When I was looking up the meaning, it says modern day Iraq, but I don't think it's like yesterday.
I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't yesterday. There's probably parts where... Because the thing is, the thing is with Iraq, and like a lot of those Middle East, like the sort of Middle Eastern countries, it's so not like... like over here you go to like some towns and you're like, wow, it's like going a time warp. It's like I've gone back 20 years in time.
Yeah.
It's so extreme in some of those countries. They have like these really, really modern cities, and then because that's where all the money goes. And then you go like 10 miles down the road, and it's been the same for like thousands of years. It's like you've gone back in time 2,000 years. So I wouldn't be shocked if somewhere there's some fucking ancient healer in some weird fucking backwash little village.
But then you see those things on...
And the terrain's fucked as well, and there's no like road system in some parts of it, so...
I think it might have been like a Jackass thing as well, when they go and meet people from like indigenous areas and like the old sort of old school people who do like the old sort of healings and things, like voodoo sort of thing. I think that was one I saw. It's like they don't use anything normal, they use weird stuff, and it could be stuff. I suppose it's obtainable.
Mm. No, the thing wasn't. It was. I didn't finish my thoughts.
Oh, sorry.
No. I trailed off. It was my total fault. But So yeah. So not only is it like stupid to like, I'll look over here to find out what's going over there. That's just dumb, right? But then on top of that, it's like, all right, so you're a sand person. You're living in the sand. You're like, yeah, waving your stick.
Don't sue me, George Lucas, for doing that noise.
He film that in fucking. I'm sure he filmed it over there anyway. Anyway, but yeah, then you're looking in it and you're like, and what are you seeing? I'm seeing the insides of liver. Oh, it doesn't look very good. How do you know? You don't know. All you're seeing is blood and red. It's like, oh, it's goopy. Unless it's like actual, like, oh, it's really fucked. It's like, how are you going to diagnose a fucked liver? Even if you had the human's liver, or the actual person's liver, how would you know what was wrong with it, really? Like, they didn't have any facility. They weren't doing blood tests. They weren't going like, oh, the pH is a bit off here. They're not doing anything like that.
We'll send it off to the labs. We'll be back in like two weeks.
Yeah, the plate count's a bit high. It's a bit. They're not doing that. They're not doing any of that stuff. They're just going like, they're just like literally poking it with their finger, going like, oh, it's a bit wet. It's a bit wet. All this bloody gooey organ. And just obviously like they're just doing that. It's just it. I imagine a lot of these ancient rituals are just theatre. They're just theatre because they're like, I am the wise man. Why? I've been trained. Oh, okay. We'll trust you then. And you have to just put on your ears and make sure everything looks like legit. You're like, I don't feel well. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice this goat. And you go, whoa, wouldn't have thought of doing that. This guy must know his shit. And then he opens up the organ and he goes, yes, I can see this. You've been having too many sand, too much sand. You just fucking, you want to take a sand-free couple of weeks and eat these livers. I've got loads of them for some fucking reason. And you just, you need some goat's liver. Here you go, mate. Yeah, that's probably that'll fix you.
The doctor goes, I've got all these livers. It's not good. What's up, dog? It's awful.
Yeah. Fuck me. That was awful. Yeah. Fucking hell, mate.
Oh, right, sorry.
Good job. Well done. Wendigo.
I've heard of this one as well.
You know the Wendigo, right? The Wendigo is a terrifying cryptid from the Algonquin folklore, primarily associated with the indigenous people of the northern forests of the United States and Canada. This creature is often described as a malevolent, cannibalistic spirit or monster, emaciated and gaunt with a humanoid form and the heart of ice. Ooh. The Wendigo is said to have an insatiable hunger for human flesh, and those who consume it can transform into Wendigos themselves. The legend of the Wendigo is deeply tied to themes of greed, isolation and survival in harsh winter conditions. In some accounts, the Wendigo is depicted as a giant with antlers and deer fawn-like creatures, further emphasising its connection to nature and wilderness. Stories of the Wendigo continue to haunt those who venture into the remote cold regions of North America. Now, there's loads of... because it was about... I read... I can't remember the book it was, but this guy was basically theorising that the Wendigo was like a cautionary tale that they used to tell kids, and it just kind of got built into like an actual folklore because it was about the dangers of greed and like all those, but also societally having making cannibalism a really really bad thing because there were some Native American tribes who practiced cannibalism up until quite a while ago. It wasn't recent, but
like Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it was Tuesday. But I'm saying like that. But like there's a few, and it's kind of a shameful past to some of these Native American tribes. They're like, oh yeah, no, that's messed up. But my ancestors did that, but I would never do that. And you're like, sort of sharpening your teeth and stuff. It's all kinds of pretty fucked up things. But it's like it would be advantageous if you made it messed up, like to do that. Like, oh yeah, because there's this evil Wendigo, and if you eat human flesh, it turns you to this creature. So they tied cannibalism with all these negative things, and it was like, it was that they suspected it was maybe on some level like a way of kind of controlling people, and also just like calm down, son. Maybe don't eat people, because obviously you're talking about incredibly harsh winters when there were little resources, and they were just, that some of the areas that the Americans lived in were so like Spartan, like you're thinking like some of those northern states. I'm thinking I can't think of where it is. It's Fargo. Fargo, that the
the film.
No, the film. Where is it set? Because it's like they have incredibly harsh winters there.
Again, me and geography really don't.
I know Montana gets it pretty hard. Like this on the border of Canada.
Yeah. And
there's a few other states that are like, but those areas were getting just incredibly like harsh winter conditions, and people would just whole communities would just die out. So they're like, it would, cannibalism is not a crazy option. When you're like, okay, everyone's dying. I don't really like Fred over there, and he would feed my family for the winter. I mean, that's not. It's not. You don't want to do it, but you're like, well, I don't want my kids to starve to death, so maybe Fred has to die.
Cool. You wouldn't want to work for Just Eat during that, would you?
Yeah.
Just
Well,
eat.
mate, you can curry anything. No one knows.
What should we have for dinner? Steve. Steve and chips.
I want a Steve Balti, with Dan bread.
Don't they've already got Dan sack.
I know. I feel a bit threatened every time I go into a. Like, is it now? But anyway, Wendigo.
Lovely. Good.
Wendigo, your go.
Cool. Right, this one I've had to spell out. So, hemgelisectomy.
I've had one. Yeah, I've had one.
Have you? Stick out your tongue. You liar! You liar!
What's a hemgelisectomy?
Yes. Yeah, sorry. It's a treatment.
Yeah.
Sorry. What's the best treatment for a stuttering? Doctors in the 18th and 19th centuries often cut off half the stutterer's tongue. A Persian surgeon named J.F. God.
I was mid-drink. The Persian surgeon. Sorry.
The Persian surgeon.
Persian surgeon.
Persian surgeon. Oh fucking hell! A Persian surgeon named J.F. Diefenbach come up with a treatment.
Sorry, you just fucked yourself in this. Hang on.
Honestly, I should have spelled that one out as well. Which he practiced without anaesthesia.
Well, it makes sense. It was a long time ago. They probably didn't have that shit.
No. The pain was, and pain was the only. Oh fucking hell! Sorry, I had a bit of a burp going on. That's why I couldn't talk. Oh dear. Right, so we're going to call him JFD, right? So JFD.
You can make up any name.
Bev. There you go. So JF Bev come up with the treatment, which he practiced without anaesthesia, and pain was only one problem. The treatment didn't work, and often patients died, but bled to death. The radical
Stutter was gone though.
Yeah, I know. Jesus Christ.
I mean, solution's a solution, mate. You know.
Cut off half a tongue, bleed to death. It's done. Just the stuff's gone.
Done. We have cured the stutter, so you still got to pay.
The radical cure, which he described as which was described in a memoir, was an incision cut through the roots of the tongue that he said stops the spasm of the vocal cords. Perhaps his patients stopped stuttering because they passed out. So there you go. That's that. Hemgelisectomy is still used today, but the treatment for oral cancers and now it's done under general anaesthesia.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So it again makes sense, but when it's done properly and it's not just like snap dash, cut tongue, fuck, job done. But if it does.
See, half the tongue. So I don't. I'm sort of. Is it like a half, like side on or front to back?
I'm thinking side on.
So he's cutting like across. Like
Yeah.
just he's cutting down. So basically, like halving the length of your tongue.
Well, because it's saying it's cutting the root of the tongue,
Yeah.
I presume that's what it's going to be, left to right, so side to
I
side.
suppose your tongue goes right back, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So half your tongue is like the tongue you can see is half your tongue.
Yeah. We've got the
Yeah.
right down throat. So yeah.
Whereas nowadays they cure stutters with just therapy. They just sort of like you just have like okay, she sells seashells, and they're like, oh, you mean you can just literally talk your way out of it? Oh yes, you can. Okay.
What they do is they lock you in a room with Gareth Gates and say, fuck it, you can turn out like him.
Dude, that's an old call. Gareth Gates not been in the. No one said Gareth. No one said Gareth Gates. Gareth Gates' mum hasn't said Gareth Gates for 10 years.
Now the thing is, I have been off work before for quite a long time with my leg, not because of a penis thing. I had a bad leg and I've had to be in hospital.
Massive dong, massive. Dinosauric. Mutembe, they used to call it.
Triceratops.
It used to have its own arms.
That'd be horrible. Which one would it be out of? You need to aim. No, I'm going to stop talking about penis.
Hold on to it. Sorry, hold on. Pick a thigh and just hold on to it.
Jesus Christ. No, but where I've been off, I'm sure it's been on a morning TV programme. There's of course because he has that stutter, and he's helped out lots of people like children and things. You've done good, and yes, I saw
Very
recently.
nice man.
Yeah, so that's why he was fresh in my mind.
Getting my knee licked. I don't like it.
Oh, nice.
Don't you lick my knee?
Haha. Cool, but apart from that, Stutter. Gone. Cut your tongue. Lovely. Not anymore. Cool.
Dead.
Mm.
Lame. The Beast of Bray Road.
Ooh.
The Beast of Bray Road is a cryptid reported in Wisconsin, USA, particularly along
Bray Road.
Bray Road, near the town of Elkhorn.
Okay.
Descriptions of the creature vary, but it is often depicted as a bipedal.
That's a funny word.
Wolf-like or bear-like entity standing around 6 to 7 feet tall with a fur-covered body and glowing eyes. Sightings of the beast date back to the 1930s, but it gained widespread attention as recently as the 1980s, 1990s, with numerous reported encounters. Some believe the Beast of Bray Road is a werewolf, others suggest it could be a cryptid like a dogman or unidentified large mammal. The creature's elusive nature and eerie atmosphere of rural roads is said to haunt, have made it a local legend, a subject of ongoing fascination. Now, I read about this guy, and I read a couple of the reports, and the glowing eyes thing is bullshit because it's with any animal. They reflect the eyes, don't they? You see a cat, they're like, oh, glowing eyes. I'm like, no, eyes don't glow. Don't be stupid.
Cat's eyes.
Yeah, but like cats, they don't glow. They reflect. So what would be the advantage of glowing eyes? Nothing. Fucking no, eyes don't glow. You know, it's like there's just never been a thing. And they always you have some fucking hillbilly describe it. His eyes were glowing and me scared me, dude. You're like, mate, eyes don't glow. They reflected off your fucking burning moonshine still, you fucking hillbilly. But anyway. So that's the first thing, right? Also, I reckon it's a bear. It's 6-7 foot tall, stands like a bear, walks like a bear, it's bipedal, like a bear's can be. It's a fucking bear, isn't it? It's just a bear. It's like I saw it. It was like a bear. It was some weird creature like a bear. Like, was it a bear? I think it was a bear.
So what's the distinguishable fact that makes it not a bear? Apart from its glowing
I don't
eyes.
think they often get bears in this particular area. Although, again, they have elk because it's near a town of Elkhorn, so they have elk. So you think, well, bears like to eat elk. They're like, I like elk. But it was a big old thing, and it was. I mean, the description here I've got is it's just a fur-covered body, glowing eyes, 6 to 7 foot tall, wolf-like or bear-like entity. Every description is slightly different, but some say it's more wolf-like. So maybe it's like there's some fucked up bear. But I mean,
skinny bear.
It's been around since the 30s. There's this description, but again, I just think it's a fucking bear, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a fucking bear, mate.
Bear, bruv.
So that I know I put it down as cryptid, but that was apparently in the late 80s. That was it was like a panic about it in the area. People were shitting their pants about it. Like it was because it was. You think it was before social media thing. It was like it was. But it was still it was in the news and everything. It was like on there like the Beast of Bray Road became like a sort of modern day cryptid panic. Like they thought it was some weird creature. People going out with like shotguns and just combing through trying to find the bucker. And you're like, it's probably a bear. And I bet they found it. Oh no, it's nothing. It's just a bear. And like, because he's just sitting down on all fours, going like, yes, it's just me, a bear. As soon as they're gone, he's like, I can walk 2 legs, 2 legs, 2 legs. But there's loads of. If you search for bear walking on 2 legs, there's some bears who just like to walk on 2 legs like people.
I've seen those.
Yeah, they like it. They just think, oh, this is cool. They get their balance down. They're like, I'm great at this.
And when they get to a tree, they scratch their backs.
Whoopie-doo. That's what they say.
I want to be like you. I want to walk like you.
No, dude.
No.
20 seconds. Come on.
Okay.
They'll shut us down, mate. Shut us down. It's Disney, mate.
Oh no.
They shut us down, piss in our eyes.
So far we've got George Lucas can try to get me for my Sandman impressions.
Yep.
And Disney for Blue.
Yeah, and all the Walt Disney Hitler shit. But
well,
he shouldn't have said those things. He shouldn't have said the things he said.
No. Should not.
All right, crack on, Sunny Bean. I'm gonna pause 1 second. Hang on a sec.
Dad,
Yeah, buddy.
why do you look so old?
Do you feel like your children don't respect you?
Where'd your hair go?
Are they becoming abusive and unruly?
Why do you suck so much?
Oh,
Like, so much? Like, what's with that?
We are the NSPCA and are here to help. As the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Adults, we have a variety of ways to support in your journey of need.
You suck, you old bald little
And if that doesn't work, we will send round Colin with the the respect adjuster to sort out that little.
I'm going to have put an ad there, so that was a good ad. I hope you enjoyed that ad.
That was yeah, I enjoy that flavour.
Yeah. I enjoy chewing that.
Yeah.
It helps wash my clothes the best.
I really hope we've not done a ad for something.
It's like, save the children, some shit. It's like, I love chewing on children. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh God. Okay. I doubt we'll do that. We probably won't do that. We probably will do that.
No.
But yeah, we do ads at the end.
Yeah.
That's what we do. I think it's just a kind of good system. Unless we think of something really good in the week, but
Yeah.
anyway. Tell me a thing about things.
Powder of sympathy.
I don't think it's sympathy. I think it's something else in powder. But go on, tell me.
17th century medicine can seem a bit crazy to modern people, but perhaps nothing seems wackier than Sir...
Wacky.
Oh, sorry, you know if they're saying it's wacky, you know it's wacky. Then Sir Kenelm Digby's powder of sympathy. The powder was intended as a treatment for a very specific injury. So, it's in the 17th century, rapier wounds. It's like the sword.
Yeah, but those really spindly little swords.
Yeah, that's the one.
Rapier.
Oh, you hit me with your rapier sword. It was made of earthworms, pig's brains, iron oxide, otherwise known as rust, and bits of mummified corpses, ground into a powder. The powder was applied to the wound. Sorry, the powder was applied not to the wound itself, but to the offending weapon. So they basically put it on the sword first of all. So your sword, the rapier sword, is covered in this stank powder. Because before, once the strange concentration would somehow encourage the wound itself to heal via the process called sympathetic magic. So it's like, I'm going to make a paste, I'm going to put it on there, on a sword, so when you do get hit, you're being healed already.
But I mean, I presume, and I might be wrong here, but if you're stabbing someone with a rapier, I would hope. I mean, I kind of think like if you are encouraged to stab someone, then you probably don't want them to heal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't like that person, otherwise why would you be stabbing them?
I suppose with those ones, if it's like the training sort of thing. So
then
like,
you would wear something you'd wear like, you know, they have the masks and stuff, don't they? All the
yeah.
If you're doing like fencing, you just go, yeah, I put my fencing guard on so I don't stab someone. They're like, I want to stab you, but I want you to heal up afterwards so I can stab you again. You sick fuck, Colin.
It's always him.
It's always Colin.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Colin.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that would have worked. I reckon.
No, I reckon there's a lot of dead people.
Why do they loved mummified bodies in powdered form for medicine? They loved that shit, didn't they?
Yeah, you hear
Victorians.
lots of stuff like that.
They go to Egypt, they get like all the mummified bodies. And they go, oh look, we'll send that back home, and we'll just grind it up and put it in pudding or some shit. They're just like, it's really weird.
Get your mummified pudding here, custard with mummy pudding.
Yeah, it's before Ready Brek was invented, though. To be fair,
Oh yeah.
that was what they used to have before Ready Brek. It was like, you know, we're lucky, man. We live in good times. Oh, I love Ready Brek.
I'll tell you what. This is going to sound really... I had Ready Brek,
Go on.
right,
Tell me a story. Go on.
with coconut milk
Oh, you dirty bastard.
and brown sugar.
Yeah,
Jesus frickin'
yeah.
Christ. Honestly, I'll tell you what. The end of this podcast, we're going to do an advert for Ready Brek, fucking brown sugar and coconut milk.
Gratis, mate. Gratis.
Cool. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Take it.
Yeah.
Take the ducats we're going to throw your way.
Do you reckon people who might listen to this who are strange from all over the world are going to go out and buy Ready Brek coconut milk and brown sugar now?
All right.
Or rolled oats in general.
Your mission is to
Yes.
go out into the world, buy Ready Brek,
Mm.
buy Demerara sugar,
Yeah.
rich mahogany coconut milk.
That would suck.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it's not milk, is it? Coconut juice. Just sprinkle spaff on the coconut juice, quote unquote milk. The milk-like substance, or fucking milk if you want. I don't care. we're pro cow. We're
Yeah.
magnificent.
Mm.
And then heat that shit up in a
Yeah.
microwave or in a pan if you're feeling fruity. Chuck it all together. Maybe chuck in a handful of raisins.
Yeah.
Splash of rum.
I'm getting pissed tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So I'll start my day. Splash of rum. Rum in the ready break rum.
I'm sorry, that's part of the advert.
Dude, I know. No, dude, do that, right? And I see what you want to put like a really high fat milk in it, right?
Yeah.
And then you put them in those little things, and you just like you get one of those like Bunsen burner things. You burn off the top like crisp.
You got a creme brulee.
I'm a creme brulee, my ready brick,
This is
with rum and raisins in it.
fucking hell. This is getting expensive breakfast.
Well, no, you sprinkle the Demerara on top, and that would caramelise it, wouldn't it?
Of course. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! This is becoming easier and obtainable.
I'm
I've got this stuff at home.
I am choptastic right now, dude. You got tomorrow off. You sort that out, okay?
Yeah. Fuck it. Pause it.
No. All right. No. This is homework. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You film the whole thing. We chuck it on the Facebook page. It's like, guys, I made a discovery.
Oh, we've got some nice ramekins at home as well.
Dude, nothing else to be done. We just made a dude. That sounds delicious.
Fucking hell. Oh dear. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Man things. Let's talk about fucking creatures.
Fucking creatures.
Yeah. Fucking.
Oh, I see what I'm gonna. Yowie.
Heard of this one?
Yowie's an Australian answer to Bigfoot. I don't know. It's an Australian answer to Bigfoot.
No, stick with it. You started. Come on, Bruce. Do it more.
A large ape-like creature said to roam dense forests and mountainous regions of Australian outback.
Fucking hell, bruv.
Descriptions of the Yowie vary, but it's generally portrayed as a hairy, fuck-off-like human creature standing between 6 and 12 foot tall. 12 foot, fucking hell, son!
Oh, God damn.
Bigger than a croc on his ass.
Oh, fair dinkums.
Mate, they have,
Get out, bouncer.
I watched, what the fuck is it? There was,
Neighbours.
there was a show. I've told everyone to watch it. No fucking around. It's fucking brilliant. Mr. In Between, right? I'm sure I've told you to watch it. It's two, I think there's only 2 series of it. It's quite small. It's following this Australian. He's a fixer, basically. He's like a hitman, but but it's so, not shady. It's Australian, so I'm sticking with it, right? And over the course of it, he goes into a bunch of these little chippies and he asks for some dimmies.
That's ringing a bell.
Yeah. So they have basically this like a weird version of a wonton, deep fat fried dough, and they just have them with soy sauce. And he goes in and he goes, "Yes, a couple of dimmies, how would you?" And they give him some dimmies, some soy sauce. And I was looking at him, oh, fucking, that sounds really good. Just goes, gets like a bag of dimmies, and he does that a few times in the course of the show. And they talk about it a few times. And I'm like, what the fuck are dimmies? Yes.
Yeah, I did see some of these ones.
I really like it. I know someone else watched it and I didn't really get it, but I'm like, I just thought it was great. He's so matter of fact, and he's so like, anyway. But that's by the by. Sorry, sorry. Back into it. Descriptions of the Yowie vary, but it's generally portrayed as a hairy human-like creature, standing between 6 and 12 feet tall, with large feet and a fearsome appearance.
Fucking hell, right.
Indigenous Australian legends have often long included stories of the Yowie, referring to it by different names such as the Quinkin or the Yahoo. The first European reports of the Yowie date back to the 19th century. I can't. I'm just. It's falling off, mate. You can hear it going.
9 out of 10 for effort. You stuck with it.
I tried, mate. I tried. While some consider the Yowie a myth or a folklore, others believe it could be a surviving relic of hominid or undisclosed species or primate. The remoteness of Australia's wilderness contributes to the mystery surrounding the Yowie. Now, that's not insane, considering we found, the Hobbit people they found like a few years ago.
No.
They found a was it Polynesian? I can't remember. There was an island. I'm gonna find finding like
Nemo.
All right. So we know, for example, that Neanderthal man and humans coexisted for thousands and thousands of years. So they only died out relatively recently. Like when they built supposedly when they built the Great Pyramid of Giza, there was still Neanderthals still alive, and so were woolly mammoths. Like there was. The crossover between like what we can go see today and what we were still knocking around is like kind of mad. So the Hobbit man, I'm going to bring it up. Homo floresiensis was an extinct species of small archaic human that inhabited the island of Flores, Indonesia. So it was like an isolated island because it had very small, limited resources. The human ancestor type creature that lived there evolved over time to be smaller and smaller.
It's ringing a bell for some
So
people.
they found in 2003. Oh, it's longer than I thought. They were discovered in 2003 at Liang Biao Cave. They were about 1.1 meters tall. They lived there to the arrival of modern humans about 50,000 years ago. So it's not insane because obviously humans were well established for a good couple 100,000 years at that point, right? So, well, maybe not that long, but we were pretty much there at the same time. So there's a huge crossover. Anyway, the idea of another hominid or human adjacent species boogieing around in the
Boogie.
in the outback, or maybe a few dregs knocking around, isn't that crazy. Especially if they're pretty good at like tucking away and going like, bloody hell, just like ducking out the way. But because the central, like central Australia is so, it's just no bugger there because it's fucking horrible. It's just like full of snakes and death and crocs and shit.
Fucking big old spiders.
Fucking spiders, mate, bigger than a man's hat.
And in Australia, they got big old hats. They got the corks on them.
They do, but obviously they got spider legs instead of corks,
Yeah, true.
which is worse in some ways.
Yeah.
And everything's poisonous and venomous, which is different, but this still is bad. So, Yowie,
Yowie.
or the Yahoo.
Yowie is
Yahoo!
also something else that you shout when you tread on Legos.
It is, or Flinga,
Okay, I like that one more.
or Cunts! But that's that might just be me.
That's after 9 when the children are in bed.
Of course, I would never scream that at my children's faces.
No.
But no, Lego's not such a thing anymore. It's okay. I'm pretty good at sidestepping that shit. No, they always catch the missus out. Like doors left open and stuff, and she catches arms and legs and stuff. She's, I think I'm pretty good. I don't wang into stuff that much anymore.
Good.
Sidebar. Sorry. Tell me about the things and the stuff.
Arsenic.
What do you call me?
Alright, Nick.
Arse.
Arsenic. Arsenic may be a well-known poison, but for centuries it was used as medicine. In traditional Chinese medicine, arsenic is known as pi shuang. Arsenic was a key ingredient in many patients' medicines, including Fowler's solution. You know Fowler's solution.
Yeah.
Fowler's solution. Which is a purported cure for malaria or syphilis in use for the late 18th century until the 1950s. Another arsenic-containing patient medicine was Donovan's solution. You know Donovan's solution?
Oh no, the guy. Yeah.
Donovan. That's his surname solution. The Donovan was used to treat arthritis and diabetes. Victorian women also used arsenic in a cosmetic. Face powder with arsenic.
Arsenic. I heard recently. I was like, I was sort of loosely aware of it, but they because it was obviously they just wanted to be pale as hell, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just more pale the better, and they just would rub poison to their faces.
Because that's that out of all the ones that I've looked at today, that was the one that I have heard of before, which is a bit crazy. But yeah,
a lot of things I used to have, like especially for makeup and stuff. So like I think I talked about this in the previous one about how people, Victorians, they wanted to look ill.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a really weird fashion choice, but it's still there today. That's why Johnny Depp's so popular.
Yeah.
Because, but yeah.
Haha.
Anyway, alright. Next cryptid.
Next cryptid.
Cryptid. Let's get down to cryptid. So we've done a Yowie. Alright, now there's a movie about, and I've not seen it yet, so I'm getting on this shit after this, right? The Loveland Frogman is a strange cryptid reported in Loveland, Ohio, along the banks of the Little Miami River. Witnesses describe the creature as a bipedal. Bipedal, James.
Oh no, I've laughed once. So I'm cool.
Okay, alright, cool. Bipedal frog or humanoid amphibian. About 3 or 4 feet tall with leathery skin, webbed hands and feet, and a frog-like face. I think it's a giant big frog, but whatever. The first sighting occurred in 1955 when a businessman claimed to have seen 3 frog-like creatures along the river. The legend resurfaced in 1972 when a police officer reported encountering a similar creature. That's a policeman, so that's a bit like you think. Oh, that's a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, for him to report that, he's got to really believe that shit. You don't know. The Loveland Frogman has become a local legend, with some speculating that it could be an escaped exotic pet, a mutant animal, or even an extraterrestrial being.
Ooh.
Despite the skepticism, the Loveland Frogman remains a popular figure in Ohio folklore. Again, a weird frog isn't crazy, although you think there'd be some skeletons.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, how many bones in a frog survive? You know, like there's some sort of like sea creatures, for example. Like we don't find like megalodons and sharks and stuff. They don't have a huge amount of bones, so maybe frogs are similar. I don't really know. I didn't do the research. I just found like the folklore was what I was after. I was like, okay, but I don't know. Like, would a frog-like creature, would it leave a huge amount of remains?
All depends how much frog it is. Because if it's like proper frog, there's like, you're not gonna have as many. Or if it's like, I'm a frog man, I've got pelvis. I got
strong pelvis, massive cock. James like cock, they say.
You need to get that reduced, mate.
Yeah.
No.
You know a guy, it's fine.
Oh dear. Right. Done with Frogman?
I've done with Frogman. There is a film called Frogman. I believe it is on Prime. Bit of time. Shut up, dog. You and your flappy ears.
They're not inside out now though, so we're good.
Thank the Lord. It was starting to really bother me. Actually, there's several films called Frogman, but I've always loved the poster of this one. That's the poster.
Wow. Okay.
That's cool, isn't it?
That's a frog face and a half. That is.
I think I've got it. 3 friends making a documentary are about to find out the Loveland Frogman is more than just a legend. So that came out last year. 4.8 on IMDb, which isn't insane for a horror movie on Amazon, on IMDb, to be honest.
No.
Because horror movies just get shit on because people, I don't know, they're just pricks.
Yeah.
But anyway, tell me about surgical procedures and such that are odd.
Have you heard of snake oil?
Yes.
So, snake oil hasn't always been just a euphemism for quack medical treatments. For centuries, oil from Chinese water snake was an actual treatment used in traditional Chinese medicines to relieve joint pain. In fact, it's still used today. Whee! Snake oil seems to have been brought to America by Chinese labourers who worked on the Transcontinental Railroad. This was backbreaking work, and the labourers are thought to have rubbed the oil on their aching joints. We know today that snakes are rich sources of isopentonic acid, or ESP. I can love ESP.
Yeah.
Better than that big word. An omega-3 fatty acid that has anti-inflammatory properties.
Oh, booshy boosh.
So snake oil, help your joints. You don't see that in Holland and Barrett. Although you might do now.
Rub a snake on your elbow.
Do 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 do. Yeah. Snake elbows. Bad bag.
Bad bag.
You need a snake.
Put a snake on it.
There's a snake in my boots, but now my feet aren't aching. Oh, well done, buddy. Well done. Yeah, snake oil.
Right, I didn't know the origin to that. That's you informed me. You've learnt me things.
But I think that's what this podcast does. It informs people, make them more learned.
Learned.
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm correcting you. Sorry. I mean, I'm correcting you. I'm pretty sure wrong as well.
But now I've learned, so that's good.
Learned.
Leonardo.
Leonardo.
I'm one of the turtles.
Leonardo. Yeah. The next one's fun. Another Aussie one.
Sorry. Oh no. Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. The bunyip.
I've heard of this one as well.
God, you're well Aussie up, aren't you? I've not heard of a bunyip.
That's on some.
What do you know
kids, about it? I remember the name. It was from a kids' cartoon.
Yeah. Bunyip.
The bunyip. Because I remember the funny name. Bunyip. I can't remember what cartoon it's from now. But yeah.
It's weird because there's so many weird creatures in Australia that are, and there's still some that are sort of elusive, and a lot have gone extinct in the last 100 years as well, which is kind of depressing. But I think a lot of Australia, there's a desertification of Australia that's happened over the last sort of centuries, and it's just meant that a lot of creatures are sort of just don't have the habitat anymore. But there's been fires, and there's also been humans just hunting the shit out of them because we're a bunch of assholes. And we moved loads of creatures over there when the white man came, and so like there was what was we did a previous episode we covered there was like a war on what the fuck was it, rabbits, wasn't it? They were trying to kill rabbits off because they introduced rabbits over there and they just took over Australia.
Oh, that's ringing a bell.
But anyway, so the bunyip is a legendary creature from Australian Aboriginal folklore, said to inhabit swamps, rivers, and billabongs across the continent. Billabong is a wet place, I'm assuming. Descriptions of the bunyip vary widely, with some accounts depicting it as a monstrous creature with a dog-like face, flippers, a long neck, and tusks, while others describe it as a giant starfish or serpentine creature, which are so different, it's not the fucking same thing at all. I'm like, no, mate, pick one. You can't. I mean, a starfish or a dog-like creature are so alternate ends of the animal spectrum. It's such bullshit. I hate when they do that. It's like, well, then pick a new name. You can't say, I think I saw a bunyip. What did it look like? Nothing like anyone else said. Well, fuck off then. It's like, I think I saw a bear. What did it look like? Like a fish. Well, it's a fucking fish then. Anyway, sorry.
Did it look like a sea lion or Patrick Star?
Did you see my butt?
Yeah. It's like Patrick Stewart. I'm pretty sure it was a bunyip. The name bunyip comes from the Wemba Wemba language of southeastern Australia. Don't laugh, that's racist.
I'm sorry, it's the way you said it.
Wemba Wemba? Sorry, my colleague is a white devil and he has come here to steal our spirits.
Tim is a nice
The
spirit.
bunyip is from the Wemba Wemba language in southeastern Australia, meaning devil or evil spirit.
Yeah.
Early European settlers recorded numerous sightings of the bunyip in the 19th century, sparking interest in this mysterious cryptid. Some researchers believe the bunyip may have been inspired by encounters with real animals such as the now extinct Diprotodon, a large prehistoric marsupial. However, the bunyip's true nature remains a mystery. If not, as you brought a picture, I'm going to search for the Diprotodon.
Don't, you might find some.
Well, no, this is because it's so we've killed off shit like what I say we've killed off fucking Aussies have done it, like they go over there, fucking bunch of crims.
You got your flame wanger out? But no,
it's a close relative of living wombats and koalas. It looks like a giant wombat. So when did it die out then? I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Looks like a giant. Oh, what fucking are they big though?
Oh wow.
Well, that's the thing. Like there were loads of huge creatures. And they died out sort of 9,000-10,000 years ago in Australia. They were fucking massive. They had like 3 metre tall kangaroos. They had all this shit.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, they were fucking. You know, there was the marsupial wolf. There were loads of fucking huge creatures, and they just all died off because the conditions weren't there anymore. And it's just kind of it's sad.
Sad times.
But yeah, bunyip.
Cool. Bunyip. So what do you know about crystal meth?
Crystal maze.
No.
Hello, mother.
Oh, quick, get a harmonica. Crystal meth.
Crystal meth. I know all about crystal meth. I've seen Breaking Bad.
Hitler
Loved a bit of crystal meth, didn't he?
was a hypochondriac. This is all sorts from the internet. I've never known Hitler. I don't know, but so apparently Hitler was hypochondriac. His doctor injected his buttocks with vitamins, sometimes laced with methamphetamine, aka crystal meth.
Mm.
As one observer remarked, the injections helped to keep Hitler fresh, alert, active, and immediately ready for the day. Cheerful, talkative, physically active, and tending to stay awake long hours into the night. Albert Speer considered the Fuhrer's crystal meth addiction one reason for his rigid tactics in late stages of World War II, where he would refuse to allow troops to retreat even under the most dire circumstances.
Yeah. There's a documentary about Hitler especially on drugs, but it works really well. Like apparently, and this was I think I watched this going to bed like years ago, Hitler the Junkie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but there's a more recent documentary which is a bit more in depth, about Nazis on drugs, Hitler and the Blitzkrieg, which was from 2019. But the Hitler, they used to give him so much meth, and he literally was off his. You watch his videos, and he is out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And apparently, when he was trying to get Mussolini to get Italy to join the Nazis.
Yeah.
He literally went into a meeting with Mussolini, and he talked for 12 hours straight. He just talked for 12 hours, and Mussolini at the end of it was so exhausted. He said, "Sure, just fucking fire." and no, genuinely, that is like understood to be the reason Italy joined the war. He just come in and literally just pushed the hard sell for like 12 hours, and then he went off somewhere else. He was just flying, just out of his mind on. Just a huge. They used to carry. There was a doctor used to go around with him with a suitcase full of like drugs, injectables and pills and all kinds of shit, amphetamines, just the whole gamut. It was it's fascinating shit. But I mean, he was obviously a bad man.
Yeah.
Did some awful things. Terrible guy. But he's also a good advert for what drugs can get done when used perniciously. Don't you think, right? No, but I'm saying, right, if you wanted to just achieve a lot of shit, right?
Like a big puzzle. I mean, like 2,000 pieces plus. And you can't even find the corner pieces. It's a circle.
I think you're trivialising the Holocaust.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm really... Oh, no.
I mean, I think it wasn't a puzzle. I think it was an awful thing that happened there. I think you've just...
100%.
I just don't know why you would even compare it to that.
I'm not changing the subject, but my penis has been reduced. There we go.
Yeah, it's still a hearty size, don't you worry. Ladies, don't worry. He's still got a fucking... He's still swinging around a lamppost, don't worry. They call him the Truncheon. Baby for short.
Oh, don't. Was that my nickname, baby?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Mark's Mouse.
Your man.
I'm the man.
Baby Mouse Man.
Baby Mouse Man. We got to work out Bjorny. And I suppose Dave is past the point now. He needs to.
No, Dave. He's not even part of the band now.
That's what I'm saying. He's past the point. We have to give Theo a nickname. Lab.
Lab.
Glad Lab.
Glad Lab.
He's wagging, isn't he?
He's a happy chap.
Happy
He's
chap,
nice.
that guy.
He's a very happy chap.
Brings me up, he does. He's good. Alright, the skunk ape.
So?
The skunk ape.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah. Now, I've panned this left and right, so that should have been stereo. That should have been lovely. Alright. The skunk ape is a cryptid reported in the swamps and forests of Florida and the southeastern United States. It's probably just some fucked up Floridian, isn't it? They're a rambunctious lot. Now, often described as a smaller, swamp-dwelling version of Bigfoot, the skunk ape stands between 5 and 7 foot tall, covered in dark hair and emits a foul odour, hence its name. Sightings of the skunk ape date back to the 1960s and 70s, with numerous reports of encounters in the Florida Everglades. Some believe the skunk ape is a subspecies of Bigfoot adapted to swampy environments. Now, arguing it's a subspecies of an animal that was also a cryptid is a stupid thing to say. It would make more sense to say it's an offshoot of a, gorilla or ape or whatever the fuck, right? But say it's like a small Bigfoot. It's like you straight up, you're like, okay, no, you can't. Your statement is just completely defunct now.
Mini Bigfoot.
Mini Bigfoot. Anyway, while others think it could be an undiscovered primate or even a misidentified bear, most likely. The remote and inaccessible nature of the skunk ape's habitat adds to the difficulty of finding conclusive evidence, making it one of North America's most elusive cryptids.
Nice.
There you go. The skunk ape. Just a scabby, gross bear thing flipping around the Everglades. The Everglades, right? So, apparently, the Everglades are the crocodile population has and the alligators and stuff have been almost not wiped out, but they've been massively reduced because of the amount of pythons that have got out. Because people have brought pythons over, they've escaped, and they are so suited to that environment, and they grow. Pythons are like a lot of creatures. They're like goldfish. They grow to their environment, right?
Right.
So they don't have any predators. Once they get to a certain size, and there's endless food, and they're able to do really well in the marshlands and the wetlands and all. They're in their perfect environment for them. Like where they come from naturally is not as suited to them as the Florida Everglades, because they've got endless creatures, fish, other snakes, obviously crocodiles, humans. It's like stray dogs. But yeah, there's so much for them to eat, and they are so protected and safe. They can just slither about and eat everything. So they've got a massive population of yeah. I think that's crazy.
It's a bit.
Yeah.
The Everglades always sounds like such a lovely place, and then to think.
Oh no, I'm not going Everglades. They're fucking mate.
Yeah.
That kid got eaten by a croc in
Yeah.
Disneyland. I'm like, well, no. I'm not. Anywhere that there's dinosaurs just floating around, and everyone just goes like, "Oh, that's just Gary." I'm like, mate, you've normalised a monster. That's a monster. Like, I mean, for all our faults, we used to have bears and wolves and all kinds of stuff living in the UK. And we were like, but we live here, fuck off, and we killed them all. And I'm not saying it was great that we killed them all. It's a shame in some regard, right? But equally, I don't have to worry about my kids getting eaten by a wolf.
It's always a plus side, isn't it?
I think that's a pretty good plus. That amount of plus I feel for that makes me less sad that they killed them all. I'm like, maybe they just live in places where there's no kids.
What if there were still wild bears around, but they've adapted to humans and they've gone, fuck it, I'm going to be their friends, and bears are being bipedal and they're walking around, but it's just like, Barry Bear, he's just walking, and they give you the wave, and they...
I'll tell you what, right? No, and here's why. Because, say Barry, he's a £300, £400, £800, whatever the fuck. They get huge, aren't they? I'm sure £800 is not an insane size. A grizzly bear, they can get that size. They stand up, they're like fucking 12 foot tall, 10 foot tall, they're huge. And he's a nice guy, he walks around. I wave at him, he waves back, he's learnt to wave. Bless him, bless his heart, right? What if he's hungry one day? What if he has a headache? What if he makes a mistake? What if he gets bitten by a bat and gets, goes all Cujo? Like, Cujo was scary enough, that was just a dog. Like, I mean, I could probably handle a dog. That was a £300 dog though in the film, in the book, but
Yeah.
But £800 bear, like no. So no, you can't have a creature like the same reason we put leads on dogs. It's like, yeah, I'm sure most dogs are good. You've got to keep them on a lead. Sure, you protect them, but like, I think, and I'm a dog owner. I think there's too many dogs. I think there's too many dogs. I think there's people with dogs who shouldn't have dogs. I think there's dogs everywhere. I think dogs are great. They're wonderful people. They're lovely people, right? But I also think they're not conducive to in huge numbers, and the numbers they are, and especially some people who raise them, I don't think they're conducive to human living standards. So I think, yeah, there's loads of dogs. Every now and then you hear about some poor little kid that gets like mauled by their dog because the owner just got some giant fucking monster. And you're like, and like as a dog owner, a lot of people who have dogs, when they cut down on the XL bully,
Yeah.
they said stop having these monster dogs that keep. And then I was like, oh, that's harsh. They're picking on one particular breed that's messed up. And then there's one fact was like 50% of all the attacks in the last couple of years have been from one breed. I'm like, oh, no, fair enough. I was like, literally, that was, oh, no, that's yeah, fair enough. Because it's like, yeah, at some point you have to just accept, like, oh, well, that's actually yeah, they're definitely the problem. Like, they're not just like, when they like did that to pit bulls. Years
Yeah.
ago, like, it was, but then pit bulls, they just bred them into other breeds, including the XL bully, which is like, that's part pit bull. They've bred it over into that, and you're like, bloody hell. So yeah, you want to walk around with it muzzled and on a lead. It's like, it's not really fun for the dog. It's not really fair for the human. It's just crap for everyone involved. And maybe it's just not built to be around. Maybe it's not built to be around other humans.
No.
I mean, if you live up in Montana or something and it can run around and chase geese or I don't know what the fuck, right? Coyotes and whatever, right? And it lives in a sort of semi-wild status. Yeah, fine, but not in Medway, like Medway towns, not in central London.
No.
Maybe you shouldn't have that dog. So you can't have bears.
No, okay.
I'm putting my foot down on bears.
Okay, I regret saying it.
No, it was a totally reasonable. If you disagree, by all means say it. But I feel I would not want to live in a landmass where there were grizzly bears just like frolicking about.
That's cool.
Maybe behind a fence. Chuck them behind a fence. Put them in a reserve. Up for that.
Yeah.
But they did that with wolves. They released some wolves up in Scotland and put them in a reserve. They're fenced off. Live in their habitat. It says everywhere around them, like, don't go in, there's wolves in there. And if you do, you're a dickhead. I'm like, oh, that's fair enough. That's totally fine. I'm happy that wolves live around. I love watching wolves.
Yeah, we were saying about that before, walking
Yeah.
on the fence.
I love them. I think they're fascinating. But, you know, equally, they scare the shit out of me. They were bears, though, really.
I wouldn't strike one, but yeah.
Mm.
Would you like to hear about goat's testicles?
Oh, mate, I've been waiting all day to get some goat's tests in. Go on.
In the early 1900s, John Brinkley became one of the richest doctors in America, despite having no medical qualifications. He claimed he could cure impotence, infertility, and other sexual problems by surgically implanting goat's testicles into a man's scrotum. The surgery had no scientific merit. It is extremely dangerous. Many patients died. That sounds quite bad to me.
I wish I could laugh. That's really bummed me out.
It's like,
So he put goat's testicles in
in the squat.
like surplus testicles.
Mm.
So you've got quadsticles.
I don't know if it's one single one, if it's a tricycle or a quadsticle.
Understood. Okay.
That sounds like a circus.
I want to know the amount of stickles. I just want to kind of try and understand it.
That's all. So you can't have children. Why? Oh, you not got enough testicles. Let's put another one in there. Let's make it third time lucky.
I mean, you know, like when you're trying to get your TV remote to work, and you're like, I mean, the compartment's only got enough room for 2 AA batteries. Wanging a third one in, it's not designed to take a third one. Go on.
On the analogy of the remote control,
Please.
you open up the compartment, smack it. Bless you, dog sneeze. You smack out the batteries. What do you do? Warm them up. You warm them up. You give them a guard rubbing.
Yeah.
You put them back in, and they get a little bit of motion power.
This is the moment we found out that James likes to masturbate his batteries.
It's true.
No,
It's true.
no one else. Like, look, no, you do rub them up. I do. Yeah, you roll around inside there just to see if there's a contact issue.
No, I've done this before, and it works. It works. Remote controls. Get your batteries out. Run between your hands. Go. I mean, like proper, like do it like heaty blow, not like a. Ooh, I'm gonna blow warm on you. You go. Like you're trying to breathe fire on it. Keep rubbing them. Put them back in remote control. Mate, you're going to be changing channel for the rest of the hour.
Just get some new batteries. Poundland, mate. Pack of 12.
Oh, but they're crap ones.
It's
Oh,
better
no.
than having to fucking rub one out on them.
But then the
No,
money
right,
that you
so-
save by not buying Poundland ones, you can get some nice Duracell ones, or other brands.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
But yeah, we've got from goat's testicles, rubbing one out to yeah.
Wanking off batteries.
I've got 3 left.
I've got 2 left.
Oh.
But I came to start first, so this should work out.
Cool.
Okay. The Dover Demon.
I Dover Demon.
Now, you're thinking it's a nice local one, right?
Yeah.
The Dover Demon is a cryptid that gained notoriety in the small town of Dover, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay, cool.
Dover, Mass. In 1977, over a span of 2 days, multiple teenagers reported seeing a bizarre creature with a large watermelon-shaped head, glowing eyes. 'Cause
Again.
of course, they're fucking glowing eyes. It's not a thing. No one's eyes glow. Fucking bull. Anyway, sorry. And long, thin limbs. Send him out. The Dover Demon was described as being about 3 to 4 feet tall, hairless, with skin that appeared to be either rough or smooth, depending on the witness. I hate witnesses. It's such a stupid. Sightings occurred in a wooded area, and despite a thorough search, no physical evidence of the creature was ever found. The Dover Demon remains a mystery, with some speculating it could have been an extraterrestrial, an unknown animal, or most likely a bunch of kids lying. You know, a hoax. However, the consistency of the eyewitness accounts has kept the legend alive. It's because all the kids who noticed it talked about it first and then all lied together. Because they're a bunch of twats. And that's the whole story. Dover Demon. But, again, there was a panic. 77. Everyone was like, oh my god! Never hurt anyone. Never did anything. Never got seen again. That one didn't happen.
No.
So, sorry and all that. There you go.
Would you like another little side note of something?
Tell me a thing.
Look at this. It's bit of my tooth.
Oh, what the fuck, James?
A bit of my teeth has just come off.
He's falling apart in front of my eyes. Why did a bit of your tooth just fall off?
I've had a bit of a bad tooth for quite a long time. I think, oh, do I need a filling? Oh, no, I'm looking at it and it's no, that's just something stuck there. It turns out it's a bit of tooth that's stuck there, obviously, and it's yeah.
Decided to be. I want to break free. Were you even eating anything?
Not for ages.
Yeah, because we got some. You got what the
Sour drumsticks.
Squashy's drumsticks. Not very sour.
No.
Quite tasty. No.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's they're delicious, but
Hang on.
he's gonna be chewing for hours, isn't he?
No.
Yeah. So sorry,
Yeah.
bit random, but yeah, bit of tooth.
He's falling apart.
I am.
What's left of James will appear next week. Bloody hell, mate. All right.
Farts in a jar.
Farts in a jar.
In the Middle Ages, some doctors believe, like cures like, so when confronted by the Black Death, thought to be caused by the... In the Middle Ages, some doctors believed,
Yes.
like cures like, I think the way that is worded is a bit crap, when confronted by the Black Death, thought to be caused by deadly vapours. They were conceived that the key to fighting disease was to use a bit of therapeutic stink, or therapeutic stank. Some urged people to keep goats in their home. Others recommended flatulence stored in jars. Each time the deadly pestilence appeared in a neighbourhood, people were to open the jars and take a whiff. Sounds funny, but the plague was no joke. Between 1348 and 1350, it killed 30 to 60% of it killed 30 to 60% of Europe's population. The stinky jars didn't help. So they thought,
Yeah.
you've got the plagues going on. What's going to cure the stop the plague from getting up inside you? Stank. Let's just open up so you have goats living in your house because they cause like goat stink. Have some farts in jars. Open it up. There's a bit of plague in the house or in the street. Open up a jar, whiff it. I don't understand where this like with these facts. I don't understand where the scientific approach comes from.
It's so yeah. 'Cause I think again it's the same as the cutting open the liver shit in.
Yeah.
I think it's just like I've got a theory, and they're just like they're pulling it out their arse because they just have to maintain this. Oh, I've got a solution. Oh, I've got a solution, and they just ask you, oh, what is it? What is it, doctor? Bad smell is what transmits it. But if you already have bad smell there, it'll block out the other bad smell. Because the miasma theory of germs, miasma was that bad smell causes disease. That was what they thought for a long time. I mean, Florence Nightingale believed that right until it was late 19th century. They were still spouting that crap, but that's why they had because obviously the those fucking what are they? Oh, the plague doctors with the big Did you mention
What?
that? Yeah, the plague doctors with those massive
Yeah,
noses.
the horrible
Because
ones.
they had all their nose full of all the smelly stuff, so that they
Yeah.
could smell. It would filter out all the disease. But yeah, crazy days, mate.
Crazy days.
Crazy days. Anyway, but yeah,
So you got one more left, have
I
you?
got one more. Jimmy Flips.
Bars in jars. I've got two more.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you about the Ogopogo.
Oh, carpet. Is that Australian as well?
How dare you? No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Canadian.
Okay.
It's probably from Native Americans who lived there before the Canadians come over, like, you know.
It's fair enough.
Anyway, Ogopogo is a lake monster said to reside in the Okanagan Lake in British Columbia, Canada. Often compared to the Loch Ness Monster. The Ogopogo is described as a serpentine creature with a long, sinuous body, estimated to be 20 to 50 feet in length. Indigenous legends of the creature, known as the Tahatik, date back centuries, and early European settlers also reported sightings in the 19th and 20th centuries. Ogopogo is believed by some to be a surviving prehistoric marine reptile, such as a plesiosaur or mosasaur. Mosasaur are massive. While others suggest it could be a large sturgeon or eel, which is far more likely. They do get big. Despite numerous sightings and occasional video footage, no definitive proof of Ogopogo's existence has been found, but the creature remains an enduring symbol of Canadian cryptozoology, which is not a big place. Actually, there's lots of Bigfoot sort of sightings in Canada because there's so much wilderness. I think people just see people, what the fuck is that? And they just there's bears and stuff, so it's easy to say. The moray eels, right? Because they get massive.
Yeah.
And I was at the which one was it? It was, I think it was Colchester Zoo, and they got this bit, and they've got like this giant, huge tank, and it's a big, like a round tank, and in the middle of it is this big kind of coral like rock, and all these fish are swimming around the outside of this coral rock in the middle, and there's a moray eel, and it's tucked away in a little hole, and it's just like it's got this big mouth, it's got its mouth open, going, just like looking away like a skaghead, just like looking around the place, going like, hey, what's going on, mate? What's going on?
I've seen those faces, man.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Yeah, they look proper leery, like proper like Begbie from Trainspotting, like, what's you looking at, son? And I was looking at it, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, he's looking at me, and then he jumped out at me, and he come at me, and then he was swirling around, and he's a big bastard, they're really long. I was like, damn, he's big. And then he was just like following my hand around, just like looking at me, and as I walked around there, he was following me, giving me all that, and I'm like, oh, he's being friendly, isn't he? He's like, he's just like, oh, hello, you're a person, he identify, and it's like, sometimes when you see creatures like that being smart in that way, freaks you out. Like octopus freak me, not freak me out, but I find them fascinating because they're so smart.
Yeah.
They do stuff, and you're like, you shouldn't be able to do that, you weird tentacle bastard. You're just this really, and they're just so smart, and they recognise people, and they they come up and they say hi. They change colours when they identify people.
That's scary.
And they do, yeah, because they identify you and they have all these weird, like, so alien, so strange, but they're cool. I like them. I wouldn't want to. Yeah, I'm not cuddling one, but I do like them. I think.
No.
I think they're they're fascinating creatures, but having got some huge offshoot of an eel that's just really really big seems way more likely than a plesiosaur hanging around. But also, I heard a really thing about Loch Ness, and because obviously we did Loch Ness a while ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it was a little fact that the Loch Ness is so deep and so long that it actually contains more water than all the other lakes in the UK.
The Loch Ness Lake.
Yeah. Well, it's a loch, but like it's so deep and so huge. There's more by volume, more water in it than all the other water bodies in the UK combined. So obviously, like, we're not talking about rivers and shit because they run out to the sea, but all the other lakes and ponds and stuff, we've had all together, it still doesn't fill up the Loch Ness. That's how much water's in there.
That's cray.
It's so huge. So the idea that something's in there is not that insane. Well, it isn't. It's like hugely unlikely, because the fact that it came to the surface at all is like, well, if it's coming to the surface at all, then it would do it more often than we've seen. But it's but I just thought that was interesting.
Absolutely.
There you go. Tell me some more things then.
I got two more for you. Maggots. Maggots are the larvae of a fly.
It's horrible. I really don't like this.
Often found in decaying meat, gross as they sound, they have been used to treat wounds for centuries. Maggots feed on dead tissue, leaving healthy tissue intact. They were brought to the battlefields of the Napoleonic War, the Civil War, and World War I to clean soldiers' wounds. The disgusting treatment went out of favour with the invention of penicillin, but has lately regained some respect
Since some bacteria is resistant to antibiotics, maggots are occasionally the best option. You filthy maggot.
I got one.
Go on.
All right. Chupacabra.
Oh, which goat sucker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that.
I love goat suckers. Whoa.
No, the only
What's in
reason
there?
I know this one because of X.
Suck that goat. Sorry, you go.
Suck that was a horse noise. I only know the Chupacabra from X-Files.
Yeah, there was actually a film called Chupa about like a friendly chupacabra that got just spread about his family.
Chop lollies.
Yeah.
They call it suck.
The chupacabra, a cryptid shrouded in myth, is often described as a terrifying creature that preys on livestock, particularly goats. Draining their blood with vampire-like precision. Sightings typically describe it as a small reptilian or canine-like beast. Not the same. Roughly 3 to 4 feet tall with a row of sharp spikes or quills running down its spine. Its glowing red or eerie green glowing eyes adds to its sinister appearance. And its skin is often depicted as leathery or scaly, evoking thoughts of a creature not entirely of this world. Reports vary. Some describe it as a hopping like a kangaroo, others describe it as a monstrous dog. Regardless of its form, the chupacabra remains an elusive and unsettling figure in folklore, haunting and rural landscapes of Latin America and beyond.
Chupacabra.
The chupacabra.
That's what you should call him, not Stanley.
Stanley is it's a bit of a weaker name. Chupa, come here, Chupa.
He's responding. He's working.
Responding. Yeah, he likes Chupa.
Chupa, give me. Chup. Oh, you did have some food in your hand.
I just put it in my hand. Yeah. I've eaten it. I've got rid of the confusion. Right, your last one.
Right, this one is soothing. Well, it's called soothing syrup.
Still let me down, isn't it? Go on.
No, you can see you'll know why it's soothing. In the 19th century.
Does it come?
No.
Thank fuck.
No.
There's something about the way you looked at me. I'm like, oh. No.
In the 19th century, busy mothers who had little time to claim.
That's so sick. Well, go on. Sorry.
Busy mothers had little time to calm a crying baby, give them a spoonful of syrup. They had to shut right up. What made the medicine so effective? Oh, a little codeine, a little cannabis, opium, heroin, and it contained 95 milligrams of morphine per ounce. So basically, this thing is like, you got a crying baby. What are you gonna do?
Give them all the drugs.
Yeah, basically.
That sounds awesome. I want that bottle. That sounds amazing.
I'm crying. Wow! Have this. Have this. It's delicious.
Oh fuck! That's so good.
So, a little codeine, cannabis, opium, heroin, and the like contained 65 milligrams of morphine per ounce, and a little bit of strawberry flavouring. No, that's not that. I made that up. That was according to the New York Times in 1910. Ads of Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup, found in many historical newspapers on Ancestry, said, depend upon it, mothers, it will give rest to yourselves and relief and healing to your infants. So basically, 1 for you, 2 for me.
Oh, you little fucker. Take that away. His head was right in the sweetie bag.
You
little pig dog. Chupacabra.
So your baby's crying, what are you going to do? Give it drugs and then have some yourself.
I'm not advocating giving that amount of drugs to not me. It's pretty sweet. But it just strikes me that compared to all the other medicines over the years, that one at the very least would work.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Because you're going to give that. Presumably, it's still a syrup, so it's probably lots of sugar. It's sweet. Give them that, and they're like, wow, yeah, I'm fine. Because it would sort out teething pain. It would sort out, I've had codeine. I've had I've had a few things I've been put under and stuff, and you realise, that shit's good. When they, what's the shit people are dying all the time right now? The fake one they get from China. The opiate that's
I don't know.
I've forgotten.
ML.
I'm going to say strongest opioid. I need to know now. Can't think of the word. It's annoying me. Google's not doing it right. Anyway, but yeah, so when Carol was going to labour, they brought through this thing. Fentanyl, right? They brought through a bag of fentanyl in a lockbox, and the guy came by with it. Literally had to, it's literally locked up because they have to be so secure with it because it's like the strongest shit if you don't use it right. And they had it on. They had this like little key where they lock it so it's the right dose coming through. But like I saw what that effect that had on her. Like she was in all this pain, and she's like, she's fine. And she's like, oh.
Job done.
And so, I'm not saying again, doping your kids is good, but I mean, I could see, it's difficult to take away when a struggling parent, and you give them a solution, and you say, that fixed it, and they can see it fixed it, and they're not aware of the side effects. I can totally see why you lean on that, right? I can absolutely see why you would just go, yeah. So yeah, I gave that shit to you every day. It was great. You never cried. You were fucking sweet. And because you weren't in distress, you listened to me more. You learnt more. Your development was quicker. There's probably. I don't mean to be advocating for this. I'm not advocating for it. It's bad to do. You've probably given them some weird fucking heroin dependency as a baby. But I can totally see in that time, without the knowledge that we have today, why you would go, yeah, of course. Of course I gave you heroin, Charlie. Of course I did.
You go by the results.
Yeah, of course you do. And you're not aware of anything beyond that. So yeah. Cool. Crazy. And there we are, we're done.
We are done indeed.
Once again. Interesting this week. I liked all that. That was good shit.
I think it was very, very, very enjoyable.
And
it takes the thought away from last time's intro, so it's good.
Thank the Lord. Embarrassment. I'm sort of. I almost took you down this last week. I've never thought about doing that before. I was so upset with the intro last week. I did consider re-recording it, but I couldn't bring myself to listen to it to do it. Honestly, I think if the timing was on, if it wasn't off time, it just makes me cringe because it's just so off the beat. Like it's just, well, I didn't quite quantize it right. It's just.
It's good though because you've made up for it this week. I mean, I know I didn't contribute to.
Well, no, I'll chuck you this bits and you can do.
No, I mean last week's one.
You did. You were doing. Oh yeah, the bass.
Yeah.
No, that was mostly me. I mean, it was my idea and it was my fucking execution. So I can't blame you. My only time I was blaming you was because I was saying, "Oh, it's too shit," and you're like, "Oh, that's all right," because you were trying to just crack the fuck on.
I believed in you.
Your belief was poorly placed.
I think it's strong. I think it's good. It's a good learning curve.
If you have any thoughts on it, please let me know. I am.
But no bad ones. Only nice ones.
Honestly, you did me a bad one. I just go, yeah, I know, right? Fuck, yeah. You're just like you're backing up what I already think, but.
Dear Whiskey, Wine and Wisdom, I thought I'd listen to you because you sounded fun. I started listening to this awful fucking beginning. I had to turn it off and listen to something about cleaning houses with Stacey Solomon instead. Fuck you. Who loses that battle? So.
I can't hate that girl. She's so upbeat.
Yeah.
She's so chipper. I'm like, yeah, you wonderful dummy. You're just like. It's like, hello, Fresh sent all this food and my kids have left all their crayons in the box. You're like, oh, Stacey, you crazy.
I've had some soothing syrup. I'm not going to do your ass now.
But yeah, she might have had one or two doses out on the ground. Yeah. But no, that's mean to say.
Yeah, no, she's nice.
She's lovely. Yeah. She's just, you can't fuck with Chipper. Like, if someone's upbeat, throwing smiles your way, you can't hate that.
No.
Lovely day. Anyway, have a delightful week. You bunch of monsters, and I see we got some people from far further afield.
Yep, I saw a new one from Russia.
Russia,
right?
Difficult times over there.
They're rushing to listen to our podcast.
Oh well, they want a bit of distraction, don't they? Having a hard time. Yeah. But I'm sure it'll shake out nicely.
Like. Thingy says, what's that? Taylor Swift. Shake it off, titty.
If that doesn't solve the
every war and famine or anything in the world has been solved by Taylor Swift.
Tay, save the day. Once again.
Should we call it?
I think we should call it there. Night night to you all.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Love you.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
How would you like to start your morning with a zippity zip zip chow?
I'm listening.
You need to start your day with coconut milk, ready break with brown sugar. It's delicious and full of all that get ready to go long-lasting energy.
Nice.
You may have heard about this delicious combination from those delightful guys from the famous Whiskey, Wine and Wisdom podcast.
Ooh, I know them.
Enjoy and have a munch for breakfast, even lunch, but don't forget to start your day and make sure that you clear the way for your mission through nutrition. Hip hip hooray!
Hooray!
Yum.